Well, we don't want the save data to be corrupted now, don't we? Hey there! UltiZeta here, and welcome to a new Let's Play of a game that I've already played before on my channel because of a live stream that I did on the launch day of the game. These 2017 Sonic games are kind of weird for me in that regard, aren't they? It's Sonic Mania all over again, in more ways than one. Welcome to Let's Play Sonic Forces, an idea that might be a mistake. Who knows? I don't know. I'm genuinely curious how this is going to go for me. Sonic Forces is a video game, and that is a true statement. Yeah, I don't know. It feels appropriate enough to return to this game, especially so soon after Mania, considering that originally Forces released so soon after Mania. But also, I don't know, like, recent release of Shadow Generations, which this is technically soft launch day, the day I'm recording this, because of digital pre-order 3-day early bonus. So it's like, I'm already kind of thinking about Sonic-y things, and boosty Sonic, and Sonic-y doobie-doobie-doops. And unlike with Sonic Superstars, I actually have a little bit of an interest in Shadow Generations. It's like, okay, there's at least a little bit of intrigue there for me. I was considering it for a bit, and then I eventually was like, yeah, okay, I'll get it, because worst case scenario, I'm left with Sonic Generations, but a little bit extra, and I know for a fact, unlike with other games, especially Sonic Colors, I know that I like Sonic Generations. So realistically, it's just getting a new version of Sonic Generations, a game that I already like, but with a little extra tacked onto it that I might also like, and if I don't like it, well, then I have the original. And so it's like, I don't know. But because of all that, I was kind of like, previously I've been like, oh, I'm kind of getting out of Sonic. Franchise loyalty is not really preserving me, all that jazz. I don't know. Frontiers I want to throw into a ditch. So it was kind of like, I don't know, I got brought back into the fold of interest, at the very least. Which got me thinking about Sonic, and I don't know, this was the next Sonic game on the lineup, and I feel like, for me, if I want to give this game a shot, a real, true, fair shake again, it felt like it was the kind of thing that I should do before Shadow Generations rather than after. So, here I am playing Sonic Forces instead of Shadow Generations. Maybe that's a good decision. I don't know. Either way, I've sat around on this title screen for long enough. Let's get in. Let's go with a new game. I will delete my existing save data. And I will play on hard mode. Because I am a hard gamer. So, I'm not going to, like, super really treat this game the way you might expect me to, I think. Sonic Forces is not... I feel like it's a game that is really, really, really easy to hate. And not for no reason whatsoever. But I feel like a lot of the problems with Sonic Forces mostly just come down to the game being a little brain dead. And a little easy. Like, I'm just holding forward right now. I'm not really doing much. Sorry, I was trying to use the trigger to boost. Thinking of the wrong Sonic game. But regardless, it's like... There's a weird vibe to me of, like, people really, really hate Sonic Forces. And again, not for no reason. But to me, it's like... I feel like there are better things to do with your time, I guess, than to just really rag on Forces too much.
hier ist alles im Eimer. Danke, Dr. Edmund. Einer meiner Lieblingsorte. Komplett ruiniert.
Hold on.
Das war's mit Green Hill. Die Stadt dürfte also nicht mehr weit sein. Zeit für ein bisschen Action.
Say that again, Sonic? I can't. I'm having a hard time hearing the game. The subtitles are English, but I don't think the dialogue is. Why? I've been talking. Why is the dialogue not in English? I'm confused. I need to listen to this cutscene.
Geht es allen gut?
Alles klar, dank dir.
Okay, people are talking in a weird language.
Ja, so bin ich.
I don't know what's going on. Sonic Forces has become Dutch or something. It's Yoshi's Island's Revenge, 12 years later. I wasn't paying attention, and this is what the result is, I guess. I don't understand. Sonic Forces is too good for English, I guess. After this cutscene, I'll go into settings and fix this. But it's just kind of funny now at this point. Well, I mean, I guess if you want the English version of the cutscene, it's on my original playthrough, the stream playthrough from 2017. Anyways,
Etwas anderes. Ich muss ihn scannen und mehr herausfinden.
I don't know. At least I noticed, like, fairly soon on. I don't know, again, number one, it is absolutely sweltering in my room. I need a fan or else I will die. So I'm already having a little bit of a hard time hearing the game.
Ich bin ja dabei.
And then also, it's a PlayStation 4 game,
Stimmt, das hat ihm keinen
and PlayStation 4 is very loud. So it's like, "Wah." So if you didn't hear the fan, you'd probably hear the PS4. Either way, game audio, not the most discernible, and I think I just have bad hearing in general nowadays. I don't know. Point is, it also helps me just talk over things going on. So it's like, whatever. And then this happens, and I don't know. I'll talk about the story at a different point. Because it's like, it's kind of a thing.
Dr. Eggmans Armee ist unaufhaltsam. Ohne Sonic verlieren alle die Hoffnung und verzweifeln.
Doch Verzweiflung können wir uns nicht leisten.
This is really funny to me, but whatever.
immer noch bei uns ist.
Um,
Er könnte...
Ich bin ein Optimist, aber auch...
oh, we don't get to hear the stupid Silverline. I'm an optimist, but a realist.
Tails hat sich selbst verloren.
Oh well,
Wir müssen es ohne...
whatever.
Silver hat recht. Wir haben 6 Monate lang auf ein Wunder
I guess this does mean we don't have to listen to fucking
Alle Leben
whoever
wollen
Silver's
der Eggman
current voice actor is who in this game, who was like,
wollen, müssen
I don't
wir
know, some sort of
beweisen,
shitty
dass
person. I don't remember the details of what he got into. I just know that he got fired, I think. I don't know.
Zu uns?
If he didn't get fired, I hope he does.
ein Überlebender aus der Stadt-
Regardless, it's not Pete Capella, so it doesn't matter.
Datei an.
It's no use. You can't understand a word being said. Anyway, Sonic Forces gimmick, we get to make a custom character, so that's what we're going to be doing now. And then eventually I'll get into other things. So, typically, the official custom character is a wolf. I originally made my character a bird. I kind of feel like I want to make him a bird again because, like, I guess if you, like, look at all of the different styles, like, I feel like the wolf is honestly the one that looks the best. But, like, if you look at, like, the different character abilities, generally bird is, like, the one that's probably the best in terms of double jumping. But I already did a bird, so I'll try a wolf this time around. Just because I think it looks the coolest. muzzle. Sure. Wonder if I could make Whisper the Wolf in this. Probably shouldn't. I'll make me a version of me, I guess. I don't know. I'm always angry. What did I just do? Eye color, oh. Now, normally I just make myself blue, but I kind of don't love the blues in this. Plus, blue is my lizard. I'm not gonna be a lizard, I'm gonna be a wolf. So I'll be... dark green instead, sure. Oh, I remember these. Can't not be the pointer one. Am I right? I don't know. We'll get to customize it a little bit more later.
Ich bin froh, euch alle lebendig zu sehen. Dr. Eggmans Truppen haben uns im Green Hill übermannt und vom Widerstand in der Stadt heißt es, dass das Ding, das Sonic besiegt hat...
I'm really distracted right now, I'm sorry. Anything I was going to be saying about this game has been completely thrown off. Oh, I know what happened. I know why this happened. It's his parting gift to me. God damn it, Circon! Okay, so... I haven't recorded with Circon since 2019 and recording Cuphead. However, this was at a time when I was playing lots of Sonic games originally, and I can play Shadow the Hedgehog. I was playing a lot of Sonic games around this time frame. Oh wow, it really was fucking Dutch. I got it. I'm 1 for 2 on languages I don't speak. Basically, long time ago, I was recording savvy in advance. I knew I'd eventually probably be Let's Playing Sonic Forces. And Circon always was Shadow the Hedgehog. So, back in 2018... I recorded episode Shadow with Circon to eventually be part of this Sonic Forces Let's Play. I was gonna be a little bit coyer about that and not really super bring it up until it happened. But I'm now remembering at the end of that recording session, he messed around in the options. And, well, he left his mark, what can I say? He messed around in the language settings, and it stuck around 6 years later. So, cool beans.
I just received some incredible news. Sonic is alive!
Sonic is alive, and you can speak English now.
No way.
Congratulations.
That's excellent. What? Oh, thank goodness! I knew it. I knew it.
He's captured in the orbiting prison.
I feel like a lot of
Says
what
he's in
makes Sonic
solitary
Forces
confinement
feel
cell. Been
so
torturing him for months.
That's
lacking.
Wait.
Plan's already happening, Amy. I've got a squad on the way to the spaceport and the chemical plant to borrow a shuttle. Come on.
In
guys.
terms of like,
Who's up for an old school style jailbreak?
in terms of specifically just like, story-wise, because, like, this is the same team of writers who has been working on the Sonic games since Sonic Colors. The Happy Tree Friend writers who did Sonic Colors, Sonic Generations, Sonic Lost World, and Sonic Forces. And then they got replaced with Ian Flynn. And which button is... R2, okay. What? It's R2 and I press R1. I'm trying to remember what button is the flamethrower button. I feel like the story of this game is honestly probably the best that the guys behind this, the guys writing this game, were in terms of Sonic in general. Because, like, compared to other Sonic games around this time, it really probably is the best one. Like, Sonic...
It's carrying supplies. I don't think it's on here.
Sonic Colors is garbage. Sonic Lost World is also garbage. Sonic Generations barely doesn't exist. So this game trying to do a story like this was not inherently bad, and I honestly don't think most of the story is bad. Now, don't get me wrong, there are parts of the story that are, frankly, absolutely stupid, and we can get into those. But in a general sense, it's like, I respect the effort and attempt made. I do respect the effort and attempt made. And I will always respect effort more. Now you can say, oh, they didn't put in any effort, look how bad the writing is. But, like, just because the writing might not be good doesn't mean that they didn't put in effort. You know, is the difference. I do feel like they did genuinely try here. And much as I don't like the writing of the writers, I can't even remember them. I think their last names are Pontac and Graf? I don't know. That might not be wrong. I didn't exactly look it up in advance. But, like, the thing is... Well, I just went flying. That's what I get for pressing the actual jump button instead of the trigger buttons. But the point for me is that, like...
Hurry it up, rookie! Get out of there as soon as everyone's aboard! Step on it!
The point for me is that you don't know exactly what went down behind all the scenes in every situation, so I'm trying not to, like, 100% blame everything on them. But ultimately, it's like... Ultimately, there's a sense that I get of... They tried their best, they put in effort, they made mistakes. I will accept that far more than other things. But I think what really hinders the story, aside from those key few, like, really stupid moments that really hinder it, I'm Joker Persona 5. It's me. Skin hands. Knight's shoes. Yeah, sure. I'm probably not going to update the avatar too much, but you do get a whole bunch of, like, cool customization options, and it's one of the parts of this game that kind of
Should have done it.
are the most interesting.
Figure it out for you, buddy. I'm sorry I wasn't.
Hey, it's
Whoa, chaos!
false advertising. A cutscene. Bye, Chaos. You never mattered in this game. You never will.
Sonic? You're alive! Wait, what? Oh, you're that Sonic from another
And this
dimension,
ties it into
aren't you?
Sonic Mania. Yay.
Right, that makes sense, I think. Do you know how you got here? Maybe the power that Eggman is using is somehow affecting other dimensions.
Regardless, my thing is with this game,
Work to our advantage. I mean, everything
I feel
happens
like
for a reason, right?
the thing I feel with this game is that it's not really worth
That's why
harping
you're here,
on some of the
to
little
help save the
details,
world.
like, oh, Sonic Mania is no longer from the past, but a different dimension, blah, 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 blah. It's, or things like, why is Silver the Hedgehog here in this game when he's supposed to be in the future or whatever? Like, there are, why is Knuckles not guarding the Master Emerald? Why is he in a leadership position? Like, there are a lot of, like, little details that you can, like, make fun of, and some people have made fun of them. It is what it is. But I think a big thing about it all is just the little details don't really matter. It's more so the broad strokes. And I feel like a lot of the reason why this story feels like it sucks is because the presentation of it is really bad. 90% of it is told through, like, cutscenes that are just character portraits talking to each other over the world map. A lot of important story beats happen through black dialogue things of like, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened.
This is terrible. They've made a total mess of this place. We have to stop Eggman and end this war.
So, like, well, that's just embarrassing. That's just frankly very embarrassing. I have not played this version of Classic Sonic in a very long time, so it's like, I'm not gonna say finicky, but it's like, it's not really what I'm expecting, I guess. I don't know. Regardless, I do feel like the presentation is really bad, and the vibes of this game are really what caused some more of the issues than anything else. Because, like, it is a bit of a confused game, where I don't feel like the tone of the game really ultimately understood the assignment. It could get a little, like, quirky, and, like, there are some writing bits that were like, why would you write this in and then not actually do anything with it? Like, for instance, the idea of Sonic gets tortured, but then he's, like, basically the exact same as ever. It's like, you didn't need to write that in, and the fact that you wrote it in honestly makes it just even more confusing than anything else. Because then you're, like, expecting something to be different with Sonic when he shows up again, at least. And it's like, they don't do anything with that. How in the fucking world was that an S rank? I don't know. Now we get every avatar item in existence. So yeah, it's like... See, this is what I'm talking about, like, with the presentation thing. It's just... so much of the game, presentation-wise, is wonky.
There is no reason to resist.
And weird. But still, like, there is more here that I can, like, latch onto than with something like Colors or Lost World that I absolutely hate. It's a silly game, it's a goofy game, but I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is, in the 7 years since this game came out, I kind of have a bit of a soft spot for it, surprisingly enough. I don't know. Got a little bit of nostalgia for it. What can I say? I guess another thing for me is that, like, unlike other Sonic games that I just really, really cannot stand, like, I think are just, like, people either mislead on what the game is, like, with Sonic Colors, and be, oh my god, it's an amazing game, so much 3, and then it's, like, half of the game is, like, the worst 2D platforming not the actual worst, but, like, a lot of the game is really bad 2D platforming, and I feel like a lot of people give it a pass just because it's, like, I don't know, it's not technically the main stages, it's whatever.
They're getting ready to ban it.
Oh, it's Rouge. Rouge and Silver, I'm not letting them talk. Their voice actors are not allowed.
Oh, that's low, even for Eggman.
Eggman, the clock. But we don't even know where he's being held captive. Yes.
The Death Egg? Oh man, that's not good. None of this is good, Vector. That's why it's called war.
At least we got to hear that line.
You all know what to do. Let's go get Sonic.
Yeah, like, see, like, this is the issue with the presentation. Just character bubbles speaking. It's like, why should I care about any of this anyway? But yeah, like, unlike with a game like Sonic Colors, where I feel like some of it does get a little bit misrepresented, because, like, there are good parts of Sonic Colors. I won't say, like, the entire game is bad. I like the 2D stage, the 3D stages in that game. The 3D stages in that game are fun. It's just that most of the game is not the 3D stages, because, like, they basically took the formula of Sonic Unleashed, where it's like, oh, you got the main stages, and then you got, like, these little side stages to play as well. And it's like, okay, cool. But now in Sonic Colors, those side stages are now mandatory and part of the main game and part of the, like, the main acts, and so it's like, it comes across as like, oh, now these stages don't feel like fun little silly bonuses. They feel like mandatory parts that really suck and they're not fun, and so many of them are over really quickly because they're designed like they're bonus stages, but they're now mandatory, and it's like, what the hell? Why are you like this? This is dumb and frustrating. And, like, that's a lot of the game, because they, in a way, they kind of just wanted to pad it out. And I understand that. It's just a shame that the vibe of the game sucks, and also the writing sucks. I won't pretend otherwise in that regard.
One more thing Eggman will answer for.
But, I don't know, I feel, if you like Sonic Colors, you're allowed to. I just, a large vibe for me is like, oh, it's not actually good. But either way, my point is that I'm trying to make is that, like, I feel like, unlike other games that people really like, and a lot of games that people really don't like, such as, like, say for instance Sonic Lost World or Sonic Boom or Sonic 06 or whatever.
Sonic's presence.
A thing for me is that, like, the game, its problems get exaggerated, is what I'm trying to say. I don't think that the game is really just as bad as people make it out to be, because in a sense, the game's just kind of like whatever. I feel like that's its biggest sin. Is that Sonic Forces is just kind of a whatever game. It's not... It's not terrible. It's not great. It's just kind of acceptable and passable, and it exists. And yeah, the story's garbage, but there are other Sonic games with worse stories. So, I don't know, it's just kind of, it's silly, it's goofy, it's whatever.
Hey, sounds like the party started. Want to let me go and join in? No? Of course not. You hate fun. Whoa. Oh, wow. The end, huh? Let's see you try something now that I'm free.
Foolish hedgehog. Getting out of your chains does not make you free. Now, come and face the inevitable.
I feel weird. That's really all I can say in the end, is that I just feel weird. Anyways, it's Zavok again. It's not really Zavok. I mean, the plot of the game is that, like, everybody here is just illusionary evil people, whatever. So it's not the real Zavok. But whatever.
I can't wait to see how long you last against this.
Come out and fight me yourself, and I'll mop you up real quick.
Impudent runt.
It's also weird that they gave him a bee robot instead of the dragon robot he had back in Lost World, but whatever. Doesn't really matter. I guess when I talk about, like, the vibes of the game, that thing I mentioned earlier about, like, false advertising does kind of come into play here, where you're fighting Zavok. Because of how, like, the game sets up, like, oh, look at all these returning villains. And it was a huge part of pre-release advertising for this game. But then, as it turns out, oh no, you don't actually fight Chaos. You don't actually fight Shadow the Hedgehog. None of that actually matters. You're only fighting Zavok, and eventually later you fight Metal Sonic too. And it's just kind of really lame that, like, basically they would advertise that kind of thing, and then it would result in nothing. And I think that sucks. And it's part of the reason why, once again, like, there was a large part of me, like, no longer caring as much about Sonic-y things, because, like, it felt like, oh, well, they're gonna advertise this thing, but, like, what does that matter if it's not gonna actually show up? Like, they basically taught me the lesson that they're going to lie, and that if something looks cool, I shouldn't care. And that's why it was really hard, especially before they actually started showing gameplay, it was really hard for me to get into Sonic Frontiers initially.
No! How could I lose
Because it was like, well, they lied with Sonic Forces, so why should I believe them with Sonic Frontiers? So, that kind of sucked. It basically, they tainted, like, their relationship in that regard with, like, the players by essentially promising something to do with Chaos Zero and Shadow the Hedgehog in this game, and then not following through on it. They're just basically gone in cutscenes. Which is more than just, like, little details. That's, like, the vibe of the game itself. And I feel like that's another thing that people really harped on with this game. In that sense. Because it wasn't, like... They didn't... They expected something more out of the game than what they got, so they instead of just judging the game based on what it presented, they judged it based on what they wanted and expected, which isn't even necessarily wrong of them to do when the game is promising things that it doesn't follow through on. But
What's that sound again?
it is what it is. I don't know.
It's not time
All this
for
time,
thinking. It's
years
time
later,
for
it's like, it's a lot easier to, like, understand what I'm getting into and expecting out of the game, and then just rolling with that. So that probably does help my, like, vibe with the game in that regard. I'm gonna do Egg Gate and then end this first episode. This very weird first episode of Sonic Forces. Regardless.
Yes, they found out I escaped. Oh well, time to kiss this yawn fest goodbye.
Regardless.
Whoa, we're off planet. I guess anyone who crosses Eggman gets a one-way trip to space. No way I'm sticking around here. There's nothing to run on.
Regardless, Sonic is Sonic. And I am a hedgehog. Actually, I'm a wolf in this game.
I do well in tight spaces. I'll pay back Eggman for putting me in this jam later.
I'm trying to, like, think of what else I wanted to say about all this.
Won't stay destroyed. I'll be out of here in no time, though. Just wait and see, Eggman.
But I don't think I have much else to say. I guess I could say that the music of this game is awesome. Despite all the problems with the game that everybody has, like, the Sonic Forces soundtrack is honestly, unironically, one of my favorite Sonic soundtracks. It's just a really damn good soundtrack, and I love so many of the songs in this game. It kind of reminds me of one of the things that Sonic Adventure 2 did, where, like, it had a bit of a repetitive soundtrack to an extent, because it was so thematic, and, like, a lot of the songs were styled around, like, particular kinds of themes.
Man.
And in Sonic Adventure 2, that was like very character focused,
Doesn't
so
matter if they can't land their shots.
all the
Here
characters
goes nothing.
had different styles of music for that regard. And that was a thing. And so Sonic Forces being having like about 3 different styles of music, with the classic Sonic, modern Sonic, and Avatar stages each having like a constant theme where like it is admittedly easy to kind of get them mixed up if you don't really know them too well. But I don't know, honestly I just think the compositions are really good. I like the instrumentation, and like I feel like the songs are just really good. You don't get to hear them all too often because of how short most of the stages are, but still, ultimately, I think the songs in this game are absolutely top-notch and some of my favorite Sonic songs, so... I don't know. I'm gonna give the game a little bit of complimentation when I can. Nothing wrong with that. I hope you like rewards, because we're gonna get a bunch of them. We're gonna be getting so many rewards. Oh look, it's me. I never saw it coming.
Easy there. Everything's cool. Are you here to rescue me?
Mm-hmm.
Can't tell you how much I appreciate it. It's been a while since I've seen a friendly face.
Hey, Rookie, you still in one piece?
Oh, sure. Don't even bother to ask how I am.
Sonic!
Amy?
I'm so glad!
Hold up, Amy. We're all set.
Is there an exit around here?
I think we'll be fine. We just get on that egg in a hurry.
Your concern is touching, Knuckles.
I feel like there's other things I can say about the game, but I feel like I've given like a general gist of my vibe with it. Like, with this Let's Play, I'm basically just trying to take the game in as it is, see how it feels all these years later, and just like
Sonic, finally
understanding
realized the
what
best news we've
the
had
game
in months.
is and coming back to it. I really do feel like this game just gets a bad reputation.
And here's the bad news.
Not necessarily an
Our
undeserved
intel
one,
indicates
because it
Eggman's
is
got
a
weapons
disappointing,
factory in Green
easy
Hill, pumping out
game that
munitions for his
messed with
ward.
people's expectations and didn't deliver on what it promised. But
No kidding.
realistically,
Look, Sonic,
it's not a
just
terrible
back.
game.
We're spread
It's just
thin.
a lackluster
Take
one.
care of this.
And even then, I'm revisiting it to make sure
We
that
need
it
that
isn't
factory
as
in Green
lackluster
Hill
as I remember.
destroyed.
I don't know.
Take the Rookie with you.
I remember liking it after my initial playthrough in 2017. I thought it was like, oh, that was decent, that was fine. That was a neat little playthrough. And it was kind of like in the years since where I was kind of like, was like, You'll hear me in the 2018 footage I recorded with Circa on how I made fun of the game a lot more than I'm probably going to make fun of
You
it
take
here.
the lead.
I don't know, I was a
Rookie,
different person 6
just
years
make
ago.
Sure you take good notes.
I got 6 months of payback I'm just dying to spend. This sounds like a good
Ultimately,
start.
though, the game, I don't know. Maybe it'll change eventually, but regardless, I don't know. The game's the game, and it is what it is, and it's Sonic Forces. So, I'm surprisingly enough not forcing myself to play it. I'm here willingly, hoping to just come out of it being like, yeah, that was what I remember it being. A fine experience, ultimately. Nothing special, nothing great, nothing even particularly good, but nothing terrible. That's really what I'm expecting to get out of this, so... yeah. If you're hoping for, like, rage, go watch my Sonic Lost World Let's Play or something. Yeah. Either way, see you guys in the next episode for more Let's Play Sonic Forces. Haha.